Hey guys, this is Mark here in the kitchen and I'm doing a cooking video today, and I'm actually doing some grilling. I haven't done actual grilling for a while. Well, actually I'm doing some smoking and I haven't done that for a while. I mean, I do it all the time, I just don't always film it. Okay, this is what I got going on today. I've got a beef brisket and I'm going to smoke it. Now, I've already smoked a beef brisket once. That was my first one a couple of years ago, I think it was. And that was a full brisket. You had the flat and the point on it, and it was like 18 pounds. It was a big brisket, and I did it over Kingsford Matchlight charcoal. Right? Yeah, the smoke flavor on the brisket ended up being like lighter fluid. It sucked. It really did. But today I'm doing something much smaller. I've got just a flat of a brisket. So this should be a lot shorter cook. It shouldn't take me 15, 16 hours to smoke it. So what I got here, it's very simple. Just salt, pepper. I'm going to put a little Mrs. Dash Chipotle, Southwest Chipotle there. Going to put some of that on there. And yeah, so a nice easy process. Smoke it for, I think I'm going to shoot for around 5, see if I can push 6 hours. It is for dinner tonight and I'm getting a late start. But then after just that 6 hours, typically meat can't absorb any more smoke than that after 6 hours. So it just kind of goes to waste. I'm going to finish off in the oven. So no matter what the temperature is, when I pull it off the grill, I'll stick my probe in it to get my meat temperature, then stick it in the oven and just set it and forget it in that aspect. But let's get this brisket all seasoned up and get it out on the grill. Okay, so here's my brisket. I'm going to start off with some kosher salt. A lot of black pepper. And if you use fresh ground, it works so much better. I know this is going to take a while to sit here and do this, but it is so worth it. Alright, so there's the black pepper on there. And I'm just going to hit it with a bit of Mrs. Dash just to kind of give it other flavorings. I just want to kind of push it onto the meat just to make sure it's all going to stay put. Flip it over. Now, I had cut off a big piece of fat right here, so I'm not worried about that now. There is some fat on here. That's fine. This is actually soft fat, so that's what's going to be rendering when it's out on the grill, keeping everything nice and moist. All right. Black pepper again. Now I'm not doing as heavy on this side because of the fat. The seasonings don't penetrate to get into the meat. However, the fat still hits your tongue, so I want that seasoned. And this is Dash again. Again, just push it down. Okay, that's it. Now we can go outside and start working on getting the grill ready. Let's go outside. Alright, so I got my probe going down through my chimney. I got this turned on to temperature. I'll set that in a moment. I've got grates on half of my grill. The meat's going to go on here. This is where my fire is going to be. I've got a little piece of newspaper here. Just drizzled some oil on it, let it sit and soak in a little bit, and this is going to start my fire. Just going to stick it underneath. Okay, that'll be ready and ripping in no time. But I actually want to start the brisket in a cold smoker. So I'm going to take my brisket. I'm actually going to put it fat cap down. I've been hearing a few people say that that's a better way because the fat will hold the moisture up onto the meat instead of it just dripping through it. So I'm going to give it a shot. For this smoke, I'm primarily going to do hickory, and I always put them in a pan like this. That way the fire doesn't ignite them and they just burn up. Now the coals that I have in here are this Royal Oak natural hardwood lump charcoal. So my thinking is it's hardwood, so that alone is going to create a lot of smoke flavor. Okay, if you're using the prefab briquettes, those things are just basically made out of sawdust. You'll probably get some smoke flavor off of it, but not as much as a regular natural lump charcoal. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to cook this about 250 is what I'm aiming for. My thermometer there registered at 250. I'm going to make sure that my vents are open so that that fire can start heating up and ignite the wood. And yeah, everything's ready to go. I'm smoking now. Okay, for me, the first, I would say hour, maybe an hour and a half, is the most critical on getting your fire going and getting your temperature right. Okay, it's so easy to have your vents adjusted improperly and have too much air going in and it just flames up, and next thing you know you got a 400-degree smoker and you don't want that. The other issue is that maybe your vents are too closed, there's not enough air getting into there, and you end up with a 200-degree smoker. And that's not good either. I mean, you could do it that way. It'd be a very long smoking process, but you can do it that way. But yeah, it usually takes me a good hour, maybe even an hour and a half, depending on the weather conditions. It's pretty nice today. It's not super hot, it's not raining, it's not windy, so it should be pretty easy for me to maintain my temperature in the smoker today. Oh, and I did start off with just hickory, but I do have some apple wood that I might throw in. These are actually chips. These are chunks. And I might throw in a handful of chips, maybe a good hour or so into the smoke. Kind of depends on how I'm feeling. I might just go strict hickory on this one. But yeah, so that's it. That's my my brisket method. So it's going to be a short video because most of it is just cook time and maintaining the temperature. That's it. Oh, there is one thing that I didn't do this time that I would normally do, and that is I would typically inject beef consommé into the brisket before it even gets into the smoke. It adds a lot of moisture to it, adds beef flavor to it. Okay, my temperature is coming up pretty good. I'm happy with it. I wanted to let you guys know, if you're watching this, if you've been following my New Zealand series, where Jen and I went to New Zealand and had a good time. This is actually shot before we even left. We're still a little more than a week out. I think we're 11 days out from when we left for that trip when I made this video. I make my videos ahead of time. I've usually got 3, 4, maybe even 5 videos made in advance. So in case something happens, maybe I get sick or I just can't get out and do stuff, I've got backups to use. I got stuff ready to go. And this is how I ended up doing it. So yeah, I think that today is 11 days out from our New Zealand trip. We've just received our foreign currency, the New Zealand money and Australian money. So yeah, we're getting excited. We really are. I'm hoping that we had a good time. All right, just gonna keep on sitting here, watching my temperature. Like I said, I want to shoot for that 250 range. Okay, I've hit my target temp, and now the thing is I need to keep it, I try to keep it within 10 degrees both up and down. Alright, so I really don't want anything higher than 260, nothing higher than that, and of course nothing lower than 240, so I'm going to try to keep it within reason. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours. I added some apple chips and some more hickory wood. My charcoal down in the bottom still looks pretty good. My temperatures have been getting a little high on me. It's hit the 260 a couple of times. What I do is I just take out some of the coals that are in there, and I put them in the little side box down there where my gloves are. So yeah, I just take tongs, just grab a couple lit pieces of coal, just drop it down in there. That way it's not as hot. So yeah, everything's going good. Did you notice I shaved too? Yeah, it's amazing what you can get done when you're smoking. Oh, too low. I need to start adding some charcoal. My wood's still looking good, so I'm not worried about that. The meat's looking pretty good. But yeah, don't have too much charcoal in there. Okay. There we go, got the pan back in. Just close it right back up. So, yep, just gotta now make sure that the grill temp doesn't go too high. Again, if it does, I'll just take out a couple of briquettes and it'll be fine. That's what the thermometer's there for, just to let me know when I'm going over what I need. Okay, the brisket's been in for 5 hours-ish, but I'm kind of getting caught up on what I'm doing with my truck, and I'm not paying too much attention to this. So I'm just going to get it inside and finish it off. Open up all the vents, just to burn off whatever charcoal's left. Alright, let's go inside. Gotta get this wrapped up, you know. Okay, what I've got here is a couple of layers of aluminum foil. Put the brisket there. I'm just going to pour some in there. That's old-fashioned, huh? There, that should be enough. There, nice and tight, crimped. Put it in there. Now, put it in the oven. And yes, my oven's set to 250. Okay, before I get the door shut, I want to put my probe in. And there we go. Okay, so I'll just leave that in there until I hit an internal temperature of 200 degrees. Okay, so now my thermometer is set for 200 degrees. When that goes off, dinner is ready. Okay, the brisket is done in the oven. It only took like another hour and a half, I think it was. And it's done. I turned the oven off. It's just going to sit in the oven and just kind of mellow out in there. Get the tissues to kind of relax and maybe draw in some more of that consomme that I poured in. So yeah, everything's going good. Should be ready to eat in about an hour. Okay, time to cut. Need something to hold it all steady. Nice little smoke ring there. Good flop on it. Let's try a little bit of pull. Oh, that's not bad. But now, of course, we got, taste it. That's good. That's really good. Here's our dinner tonight. Smoked brisket. We got the oven roasted broccoli and some rice and couscous kind of mixed together. You want to wave?
I did.
Tell your brother hi.
He'll probably never see a video.
Flip him off. That way you can tell him that you did it.
He does that in person every day.
Yeah. Now you can do it on YouTube.
And it'll be saved forever.
There you go. What's your brother's name?
Trevor, this one's for you.
See, now you gotta direct him to my channel and say, hey, I got a special gift for you.
I'll send it to him, don't worry. Hey, Brandon gave you a special shout out in my dad's last video. Here, go watch it.
That brisket turned out good.
It is pretty delicious.
All right, well, we're going to sit here and keep on eating, and we'll see you guys on the road. Bye. It ain't chicken.